come here for those stories.
You know, when you have a butcher that says Colonia Dignidad is way safer now, you know, bad things used to happen here, those are the clues that are telling us that we're not getting the full truth right now.
Aquí era la pieza de Paul Schaefer.
This was Paul Schaefer's room.
Unos jóvenes pidieron que me sacara fotos.
We'll respect everything. We're here for the tour. What else is there to see?
Aquí estaba en la parte del bunker, the bunkers.
Yeah.
So, in a communal society, why do you need Fort Knox here?
What was in here?
Nada.
There is a massive safe built into the center of the bunker. Just another red flag. Just another thing that is standing up saying something's not ending up. Wow.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So what exactly are we looking at here?
Una central telefónica.
Every room in the place had a small set of speakers.
Like an intercom?
Como un intercomunicador?
Sí, sí,
Yes.
So they had extensive infrastructure for communication.
sí.
The technology for the time period that we're talking about was state of the art. There were thousands of communication nodes. That tells me this entire bunker complex underground was equipped with two-way communications. That's military grade right there.
Alright, where to next? I've seen what they wanted to show me, but I picked up on so much more. This was built with a military perspective. These are indications that this religious agricultural community was something else entirely. We cannot stop until we find the truth about Colonia Dignidad.
In the capital of Chile, Tim Kennedy, Gerard Williams, Mike Simpson, and Translator America have uncovered a man by the name of Winfred Hempel, who was once a resident of Colonia Dignidad.
Sit down. Winfred Hempel lived in Colonia Dignidad. He was born there. He was raised there. There is no one better to tell us exactly what went on behind those fences. Thank you for meeting with us. Could you start by telling us a little bit about Colonia Dignidad?
Yo nací en el año 1977 en la Colombia. He vivido en grupos de trabajo separados por edad y por sexo, y en los cuales el que supervisaba todo era un jefe. La colonia era un campo de esclavos, de esclavitud, de trabajo forzado infantil, trabajo duro, 16 horas diarias, desde que uno tuviera 6, 7 años de edad.
They couldn't even think about going out of the colony because there were a group of men that had guns and dogs, and they were the ones who would recover the prisoners who were trying to escape.
What would happen to that person?
Si los atrapaban, le echaban los perros, les pegaban culatazos, ahí aplicaban electroshock, los inyectaban durante semanas o meses hasta que estuviera rehabilitado. No sabía nada más del mundo exterior que quién era el presidente de Chile, dónde era norte, sur, este, oeste, y eso sería.
You're in prison without even knowing you're in prison.
Everything Schaefer did was all about fear. It is the most powerful tool you can wield psychologically. When you've got this level of control, people will do anything you want. You could have marched high-ranking Nazis right into the compound, ordering everybody to turn their backs and face away. Nobody would have seen it.
Is Schaefer openly Nazi?
Yes.
There were people who were openly Nazis.
In his group?
Yes.
In the Schaefer group?
Yes. Hermann Schmidt, Waffen-SS. Albert Schweitzer, también Walter Rauff.
Walter Rauff.
Yes.
Who's Walter Rauff? Walter Rauff is a disgusting creature who invents the mobile gas lamp for murdering Jews on the road. Were they senior in the colonies organization?
¿Tenían altos rangos
Sí,
dentro del orden?
sí, la gente que yo acabo de nombrar, los tres son miembros de la cúpula de la colonia.
The colony has a hierarchy. First level was Schaefer and his associate. then there were the colonists.
Do you think it would be possible for Paul Schaefer or his inner circle to hide people inside of Colonia Dignidad without people knowing?
Sí, sin ningún problema, sin ningún problema.
They knew they couldn't enter some areas of the colony, but they always saw people from the army, military people around the colony.
So even amongst the colonists, there were areas that you do not go here.
Sí, sí, exacto.
Colonia Dignidad was segregated, and each of these compartmentalizations prohibited access from one colony member to any other part of the camp. This is ideal to move high-value targets. If Adolf Hitler wanted to fly and land there and gain access to all of the other areas that even the people living on the colony didn't have access to, this is the place.
We went to Colonia Dignidad and we got the formal tour. Is there more there for us if we were to go back?
Sí.
What they show is this bucolic phase that Schaeffer cultivated.
We're not finished investigating that. What I'm asking is tough, but I want to know, will you go back there with us?
Yo creo que una historia de una colonia es que hay que sentar un precedente que eso no se puede volver a pasar. Yo estoy dispuesto a llevarlos al lugar porque allá hay muchas cosas que investigar todavía que no se han investigado.
Whatever was happening there, they didn't want the world to know about.
I've met a lot of heroic and courageous men, and you were at the top of that list.
We are seeing the true face of Colonia Dignidad. But this is evil. This is brutality. This is bigger than we ever thought.
I think there was a cult there, but it's not the only thing that was there. I think the cult was the front for something else.
Bob team in Chile.
Winfred was born there. All he knew about the outside world was which way was north, south, east, and west. That says it all. Completely secluded from the world.
And he was talking about the whole place being compartmented. Civilians living on one side. Then you have the secret part of the base, which is run for military purposes. Keep the civilians out, keep it separated, keep the security high. I haven't seen communications facilities this complicated on American military bases I've been on. They were doing something there. That's the question, is what?
According to Winfred, there's a secretive aspect that's perhaps more nefarious, and that is the presence of Nazis. They met in areas that were completely off limits for everybody else in the compound.
The way Colonia Dignidad operates reminds me of North Korea. You simply do not see North Koreans leaving and talking to people on the outside. Absolute total control. But they were out to do bad things. That's why they needed to keep secrets. Who lived in that compound? I mean, who was so important to marshal that kind of resources in total secrecy?
Let me show you something here. Yeah, this is it right here. It's a now declassified German parliament document, and it goes on to talk about the arrest in Chile of 8 more members of the leadership of Colonial Dignidad, including an ex-member of Adolf Hitler's personal bodyguard formation, Kurt Schnellenkamp.
His bodyguard? This is huge.
Not only was he the one-time bodyguard of Adolf Hitler, but a member of the leadership of Colonial Dignidad. That's an amazing connection. If Adolf Hitler's bodyguard was in Colonial Dignidad, who else was in Colonial Dignidad? Who was he protecting? What was he doing there?
This is not just a colony of Germans with Nazi sympathies.
Right now, in my mind, it's not a question if Nazis were there, it's what were they doing there.
And it could be as simple as protecting Adolf Hitler or planning for the Fourth Reich. I think what we need to do now is go to the militarized parts of this compound base and figure out, could it have housed Adolf Hitler? I mean, was there a facility that he could have gone and stayed at securely and his identity protected?
No matter how we look at this, this is not going to be an easy mission.
With or without their cooperation, we will get to the truth.
That's Winifred right there.
Move it.
Tim Kennedy and Mike Simpson reconnect with Winfred Hempel, a former resident of Colonia Dignidad,
Morning.
now known as Villa Baviera. Winfred has agreed to help the team try and get access to the hidden areas of the compound that, according to a declassified German document, was a refuge for Adolf Hitler's personal bodyguard after the war.
We have to be able to get more access.
Si ustedes ingresan como turistas, no le van a mostrar nada.
They're just gonna show you what they want you to see.
Right. I need to see where the bad things happen. Things that they're hiding.
La verdadera historia.
How do we get in there?
O sea, aquí está el acceso.
There's a semi-public road, trucks going that way, so they don't have such a strict
So they
control.
can't completely control it.
Exactly.
So there's another way in.
Yes. Yes.
We can't do this without Winifred. He lived there. He understands the culture. Winifred can see through the smoke. That's exactly what we need to do to get the truth from Colonial Dignidad.
Go on, don't stop.
Winfred leads the team to a military installation located 5 miles south of the center of the colony.
Wow.
You're on top of the world. Golly.
We're about just shy of 3,000 feet up off the valley floor.
I've been in Special Forces for 15 years. That tower is better than some of the things that I had in my own fire bases in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's massive. And it is tactically positioned on top of the tallest point in the entire valley. We have to know what you can see from there. Check this door out.
There's a little bit of a gap between the top of the fence and the barbed wire in the back. There it's pushed down a little bit.
So they call him the Captain, Captain America.
I'm just impressed he didn't snag his jacket.
I know.
I'm gonna start the ascent.
He's roughly as high as a 6-story building right now.
I can see ports to plug in a radio and telephone.
All right, Zach. Standing right here, I'm able to see absolutely everything. I can see the Andes Mountains east of us, to the west of us. On a clear day, I can probably even see the ocean. I can see the valley floor, which is 2,500 feet below me. And here to the south, I can see all of Colonia Dignidad. This is unbelievable. Nothing could go in or out of Colonial Dignidad for 100 miles without somebody seeing it from here. They would have had an hour, if not more, of early warning. This is the first sign. No, this was strategic. This was planned and executed and built for a reason. And that reason resonates military. Anything that's going to come from any direction, they will have early warning from that watchtower to be able to get anyone there hiding out safely without anyone knowing.
Entra aquí. Entra aquí.
Go in here, please.
Winfred leads the team toward the center of the compound and the perimeter fence that surrounds the entire property.
Mira, aquí.
Here, there's something you should see.
Veamos ya. Esta es la típica central de conexión.
She's an access ladder on this side.
All right, so there's the panel box here. Probably hundreds of wires running into it. These wires aren't. This isn't power.
Where was all this running?
Tim, look at this.
Wires coming out.
Mike, there's way more over here. This one connects to chain link fence. This one connects to the barbed wire. That's a different level. It connects to a different strand of barbed wire.
Yeah, there's tons over here, Tim. This is wired into a connector going directly into what holds this piece of wire on. So somebody pushes on this, puts an electrical impulse through this. This goes to a command somewhere, and a light on a switchboard lights up, tells you what number to post. Somebody really did not want people climbing this fence. Hey, mira. Mira.
Mike! Yeah, you gotta see this.
The hell is that?
Styrofoam. What? Painted like a rock. We have moss on here. Little screen in front of it. This is like Hollywood level design.
This looks to me like an old-fashioned electric eye infrared sensor. Basically an infrared tripwire. So anything coming through here is going to trip it.
We have concentric lines of defense. First, you had your primary. The observation post is essentially early warning. On the second one, we have the outside perimeter fence with thousands of sensors running into it. You know, this is an indication of thorough security. The only reason you're doing things like this is if you are protecting the people at the highest level. The highest. So help us out here.
Deep in the mountains of Chile, Tim Kennedy, Mike Simpson, and an ex-resident of Colonia Dignidad, Winfried Hempel, are investigating the former grounds of this secret German community, with reported ties to Nazis on the run. They have already uncovered multiple military-style defenses surrounding the compound.
This is layer after layer with perfect control. You have the fences, you have the observation, you have the communication, you have everything you need. The question is, how do you hide and protect Hitler? If Adolf Hitler is being harbored and protected in Colonia Dignidad, you're gonna have hidden houses, safe houses, hideouts with the infrastructure to be able to support that.
Is there a place anywhere in Colonia Dignidad where if I brought a very important person in, I could hide them completely?
Sí, sí. Hay un mundo subterráneo en la colonia muy grande.
There was structure underground.
Sí, que eran boxes de cemento, como cajas que tenían por dentro lavamanos, ducha, cocina chica, y debajo de todos los edificios hay zócalos, escondites, hoyos, túneles pasadizos.
Yeah. To your knowledge, were any of these someplace that somebody could live for an extended period of time?
Sí, sí.
There first, there's a warehouse, and there's a bunker.
Can we get inside any of the bunkers? Can we get inside any of the tunnels?
Absolutamente.
We gotta go there. We have to see them. Let's move.
Yeah. Now here's the place.
Place back here?
Yes.
To minimize their exposure, the team heads out on foot to explore the tunnel and bunker system in the heart.
Counts. We have to be careful. We have to stay under the radar. We make a mistake, we get caught. We get caught, we can't get to the truth.
Here's the place.
Tunnels work in here.
Sí, de todo el complejo de acceso.
Mike, you gotta see this.
On the way.
Oh my God.
Conectado con el punto de arriba del cerro, donde vamos a ir después donde está el mirador.
Look at this. Hundreds of thousands of sensors, there would have been an alarm board here.
And this is just one layer. This is just that one fence ring.
This is like a permanent duty station. You know, there's massive, vast communication systems in place. Most importantly, there's just line after line, cord after cord, all going to different sensors throughout that region of Colonial Dignidad. This is a military compound that is protecting Adolf Hitler. You would expect to find security like this.
The team makes their way through a complex network of tunnels extending outwards from the command base.
Got a bunch of machinery in here. Just a compressed air tank. These are hydraulic pistons. There's the fluid. And we got matching hinged pieces on the end. Okay. This is a movable piece here. I think the beetle one. We're right under the road. This is a barrier to hydraulic waters that pop up on the road. That's exactly what this looks like. Oh my god.
The team has discovered what they believe to be a hydraulic-powered barrier system. When deployed, 2 high-powered hydraulic arms could have raised the barrier upwards, preventing the movement of personnel and vehicles.
This would stop a tank.
Yeah.
This is major stuff.
This immediately reminded me of White House security. It appears that they are really trying to protect a very, very important person. They can lock down the gate completely without ever exposing themselves in any fashion.
Alright, we're gonna end the line here. Right. Holy. We have a massive room. Yeah. This is something I didn't expect. It's white book carbon walls. Soundproofing. Yeah, they're soundproofing this room. Why? You know what this is? A safe room. Right? You guys are good. Let's get out of here. A 12 by 12 reinforced concrete cement bunker. In the center of the compound is the perfect place for Adolf Hitler to be protected. And he has the perfect place to run to when things get too hot for him. If you wanted a safe house, if you want to hide out, this fits the bill.
Winfred leads the team to the warehouse located in the epicenter of the compound, just 500 yards from the entrance to the bunker system.
Is this the warehouse?
Yes.
When you lived here, what were you told this was?
Era un área restringida donde, desde que yo tengo memoria, desde niño chico, que no podía acceder.
What would happen to you if you came and tried to look here?
No, me habrían castigado salvajemente.
What went on here?
Bueno, se hacía de todo, o sea, hasta se fabrica armamento.
They built guns.
They built,
Not where they kept guns. They built guns here.
they used to copy them and then assemble new ones.
Refabrication of firearms.
Yeah. This is major. This is like a country within a country where they can do anything they want.
Do you got a problem?
Pues then,
He's asking for the order.
yeah.
Is this an issue? This is nervy. It makes my heart race.
What was this? Cargada en ausencia de Anita.
She's the person in charge. And we're allowed to visit just 3 places.
Pero bueno, ya terminó el día.
Are you telling us we have to leave?
Yeah. Yes, we have to leave right now.
Okay. Layers of security, towers, fences, motion sensors, and now you have manufacturing weapons. They could have been building this Fourth Reich armed and supplied all from one location. It's terrifying. You couldn't write a fictional story like this. Nobody believed it.
I've been on a lot of military bases all over the world. This type of security is more consistent with the security measures that are implemented relative to a military operation than it is protecting a cult.
Bob and John review the findings from their investigation of Colonia Dignidad in Chile, where a declassified German document places Adolf Hitler's personal bodyguard hiding out at this secretive compound after World War II.
At the end of the day, some serious people put this facility together, and they did it with a purpose and a mission. We have right here the watchtower. This is tactically placed. You can see everything in the whole area. It's the first line of defense. Second line of defense, you've got infrared trips. You've got wired fence. This security, if this goes back to the 60s, matches any military-based security in the United States. And what you have here in the core are tunnels and bunkers, reinforced communications equipment, good place to hide out of the center of things. And then you have a weapons warehouse. You have to have a military force to recreate the Fourth Reich. Here, you could create weapons. In the center is the most important piece, the weapons warehouse, development. We don't know what's in there, but it's not Misiones, where, fine, you can go hide out in the jungle. This is something much bigger than Misiones. We cannot exclude the possibility that Hitler made it to Colonia Dignidad and started playing the Fourth Reich. You just can't. But this weapons facility is still a mystery what they were making there. Eliminate the possibility this is just conventional weapons being made here. They were not there making single action rifles to invade the United States. It just doesn't make sense.
I agree. What would they need conventional weapons for? It doesn't fit.
If this base was being used for the Fourth Reich, we need to know what kind of weapons are being made in this warehouse. And that will tell us what this whole place is really about.
If we can't get inside, at the very least, we need a human source. We need an informant to tell us who has actual first-hand knowledge of what was going on the inside of that building.
Gracias. So now you can go in first. Because you can speak Spanish, you can introduce us, and that will help me out.
In hopes of determining the nature of reported weapons manufacturing at Colonia Dignidad,
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Gael, intérprete, mucho gusto. Señor Fernandez, Gerard Williams. Nice to meet you.
Gerard Williams and his translator Gael meet with Hernan Fernandez, a lawyer who represents former residents of Colonia Dignidad in a 20-year-long civil case against the colony's leadership.
I know that you have a case against Colonia Dignidad. What can you tell me about the colony? You're making guns.
Sabemos que Colonia Dignidad tuvo fábricas de armas.
We know for a fact that Colonia Dignidad had the weapon manufacturer there.
How many guns? What sort of guns?
Armas de guerra.
Big amount of weapons of war, ready to be used, weapons of war ready to be sold. Rifles and submachine guns.
Sí. We know that Colonia Dignidad effectively was a Nazi community. Now, we have weapons manufacturing going on there. Big question here, why? Y hoy sabemos también armas químicas.
There was also chemical weapons, like the sarin gas.
Sarin gas.
Sí. Sarin, in its gas form, is a very, very nasty chemical. If it gets into the hands of the wrong people, a lot of people are going to die.
So how did they make sarin gas in the middle of Chile?
They had the resources to both get national chemists, but also to bring people from abroad.
It's just horrible beyond belief.
Amazingly, we're talking about one of the nastiest chemical weapons the world has ever heard of. We don't know exactly what they originally planned to do, but this looks like they're planning a Germany that can exist in the 20th century.
I think the team is actually much closer to resolving the question as to what was happening in this warehouse.
Bob and John review the findings from Chile, where they have uncovered testimony regarding the possible nature of weapons manufacturing at Colonia Dignidad.
Members of the team have interviewed a lawyer, and he is alleging that they were manufacturing weapons of war. But beyond that, he is alleging that they were manufacturing chemical weapons, specifically sarin.
Sarin is a battlefield biochemical weapon. It's a weapon of mass destruction. If you have a system to disperse sarin, you could take out a major American city. The casualties would be catastrophic.
Could this warehouse have been a facility for the production of sarin?
Absolutely. You can make sarin here and store it. I was in Syria when they were making sarin gas, and they just had a couple scientists trained abroad, like the Nazis would be, and took not particularly sophisticated labs that were easily concealed and built these things. It is hideously lethal.
We knew that Hitler, whether he lived or died, had this vision for the continuation of his empire in Colonial Dignidad. The leads pan out.
Exactly. Look, you've got sarin, you've got weapons manufacturing, you've got Nazis, and for all we know, Adolf Hitler. And this isn't the Fourth Reich in theory, this is the Fourth Reich in act. I never thought we'd get this far. Earlier in the investigation, we uncovered that Hitler could have escaped. But now, with this leg of the investigation, we've uncovered so much more.
I found an exit into a new tunnel. Are you kidding me? Now Hitler's got another way out.
This isn't Saddam Hussein hiding in a spider hole underground. This was well-funded, well-planned, well in advance.
Many wealthy Nazi officials met to plan the formation of Spinne.
Hitler had at his disposal massive network with thousands of loyal Nazis. All could have put together his escape plan and sustained him for years, like Martin Bormann.
People were really scared to see him because there were a lot of deaths happening around him.
Before the end of the war, Bormann had set up a plan for Hitler's escape.
See, and Adolf Eichmann.
I think it's the web, die Spinne.
We got a escape tunnel.
Makes sense.
That's what this is.
In addition to that, he would have had the highest levels of government support.
Yeah, we've seen it from Spain.
Franco gave to him the new identity. So everything was
As well as in Argentina.
Perón essentially was giving Dr. Richter anything he wanted money-wise.
Yeah, blank check.
Not just talking about governments, we're talking about heads of government. Dictators in South America who were prepared to protect Adolf Hitler. And once he was on the run, he wouldn't have had just safe houses to hide out in. He would have had military compounds.
That is huge. Why is this in the middle of the jungle?
Like Missione, this feels like
The military barracks.
Bariloche.
Somebody sat back with a map and said, I'm going to put Adolf Hitler here, Watchtower here, and I'm going to put a bunker here. This is an interconnected military compound.
And now in Chile, we have a very large military compound.
In the center of the compound is the perfect place for Adolf Hitler to be protected.
Military bases in South America that were controlled by Nazis. The most terrifying thing for me is that if Hitler had escaped, he didn't intend to give up. He intended to attack the United States. They had a plan using a weapon with a kill radius which would have taken out Manhattan. Not only did he intend to attack the United States, he had the means to do major damage. Secret munitions factories in Buenos Aires. A nuclear program in the mountains of Argentina.
This is to prevent radiation from escaping. That's how close they were.
Headquarters in Tangier, Morocco for the Nazi Fourth Reich.
This has all the markings of a military command center.
And Colonia Dignidad, where they've used weapons of mass destruction, tucked away in Chile.
I started this out as a complete skeptic that this was impossible. Nazis going to South America and setting up the Fourth Reich. But every piece of information we keep digging up points the same way.
But if there was ever a case to be made that the Fourth Reich actually turned operational, it's Colonial Dignidad.
What we found is something much more chilling than Hitler's mere escape. The fact that you had people committed to murdering us, that had the ability to make weapons of mass destruction, and we were sort of clueless what they're up to. I think it's pretty damn scary. Hitler was not a fugitive. He was a man that intended to change history. He was not going to give up. He was not going to retire. He was not going to go into permanent hiding. He had the elements. And the will. He had big plans. And the scariest part, these people do not give up.